Hello Year 4, welcome to session 7 of your science topic for this half-term Living Things. We've worked really hard and we've now completed all the classification work that we had to do, and we're going to be moving on to looking at a flying insect, an invertebrate, and we're going to be thinking about bees. We're going to be learning about why bees are endangered, and endangered just means they're at risk of extinction, of there being no bees left. And we're also going to be finding ways to encourage bees into our school grounds, or if you're at home, how you can encourage them into your garden. Before we start, I just wanted to share some sayings with you about bees that you might have heard, or you might, be able to include in your writing as you move into Year 5. Now, the bee's knees is an object or a thing that's outstanding. So I could use it in a sentence to say, Mr. Lancaster's fruit scones are the bee's knees. It means they're the best fruit scones I've ever tasted. I know we've all heard the phrase before, busy as a bee, and that means that we are flitting around from place to place, being really busy, super active, and doing many things as quickly as we can to get everything fitted in and get it done. To have a bee in one's bonnet just means that you're bothered about something. Mrs. Lancaster's lost her glasses and she's got a bee in her bonnet about it. I can't find them, I'm focused on it and it's bothering me. And I do that quite a lot, don't I? I lose my glasses quite often. And Queen Bee is a person who's important. So I could use that in the sentence, Miss O'Donnell is the Queen Bee of Year 4. So she's in an important position in Year 4, and she's in charge of all the other worker bees underneath her, which is all of us. Before we carry on, I want you to think about questions that you have got about bees, and that could be any question that you've got about bees. And I've been having a think, and I've sort of come up with a few questions, and I'm going to write them down because we might be able to answer them during our last few weeks on this topic. So I've got, are they pests? How do gardeners encourage them into their garden? What would happen if we didn't have them? And how long do they live? So I wonder what questions you've got about bees. Why don't you pause the video now and write your questions down about bees, and we'll see if we can answer them. Right, we are going to meet an important person. We are going to meet Victoria, and she is a bee detective. So what I'm going to need you to do is I'm going to need you to stop the recording now, and then I'm going to need you to go to the science folder on the Google Drive for this week, and you need to find this document here. You need the document so that you can click on the picture of Victoria, and that will take you through to a little video about her and her job. But while you're watching it, I want you to think about these two questions and make notes. How does Victoria detect pests, and why are bees important? When you've done that, I want you to be thinking about our research question. And our research question for this week is, are bees a friend or a foe? So I want you to go and do some research. I want you to research why bees are good for the environment. And then I want you to create a list or a mind map, or however else you want to record it, of the reasons that bees are good for the environment, so the space around us, and how they help humans. So there's lots of places you can go to do research. You can go to the internet, make sure you've got your parents' permission before you go and do that. You may have some books at home that you can have a look at. It may be that you know someone that has bees and you could talk to them. Maybe a friendly beekeeper that you might know. Or it may be that you do a mixture of all of those things, and equally they're all fantastic research. So remember, you're going to create a list or a mind map, and you're going to need that to complete your task for this week. So just a little few things to help you here. I've got some pictures down here which might prompt you into thinking about why bees are useful, and have a look at those pictures there and see what you can see, and that might give you an idea of where you can start your research. Equally, there are some question words there. So you could be thinking about using those to help you pose questions for you to start your research. So I've got, what do bees do for the environment? Why are they dying? When are they the busiest? How are they protected, and who protects them? And where can I find out more information? Who else could I speak to? Where else could I go? And who looks after them? because we know that some bees live in beehives, but who looks after all the other bees? So some research first before we get onto our task. And your task this week is to use your list or your mind map from all the research that you've done. And I want you to create an informative poster to illustrate your points that you've found out. Now, you can see here that there are some examples of posters, and we've got to remember that our poster is got to be colourful. It's got to catch the eye of the person that's looking at it. We want them to stop, so you could include pictures. I can see here we've got some headings and some subheadings, and you need to make the presentation of your poster interesting. Think about your research questions because they're going to help you. Remember, our question is, are bees a friend or a foe? And a foe is another word for an enemy. We're not researching or talking about types of bees or their life cycle yet, although that is to come. The really important thing that I want you to think about is to draft your own sentences to include on your poster. So although you're going to be doing research and you're going to be finding out facts, I don't want you to just copy those facts straight onto your poster. I want you to rewrite the sentences in your own words, so draft your own sentences. And as always, Miss O'Donnell, Mrs. Parker and I will be looking forward to seeing your fantastic learning. You can decide how to create your poster. You might want to do it on PowerPoint. You might want to create your poster on Word. So it is a poster, it's not a presentation. You might just want to write one out. You might just want to use your own fantastic handwriting and your own brilliant drawings. I know we've got some fantastic artists in Year 4. I've been seeing their pictures coming through on the Year 4 email. And then please do email them to us at the Year 4 email address. And we look forward to seeing what you produce this week. So have fun with science this week, and I'll be back next week for some more learning about bees.